running for the school board, like Rebecca said, it was not a quick, spontaneous decision for me. I had to think about it. I had to deliberate over it, that this is the right thing that I wanted to do at this time. I know several people have been encouraging me to take this step, and a lot of you are in this room, so thank you for the trust and faith that you have in me. And being the chair of the District Accountability Committee for the past couple of years, it gave me an opportunity to work with the current school board, collaborate with them, and also work with the current superintendent, Dr. Thomas, and the previous superintendent, Dr. Gleditch, and it's so good to see Dr. Gleditch back there. It's the first time I've seen you since your retirement. Thank you for being here. So working with all the school board members and being the voice and providing the input from the parent side, the community side, as the chair of the District Accountability Committee, and providing that input to them as they go about making critical decisions that impact our students' everyday life in the district. I enjoyed the process thoroughly, but running for the school board, that was a whole different ball of wax, so to speak. I am not comfortable talking about myself, going through the campaign process, and that is something I had to get comfortable with before I could take the next step. And I was talking to Nora Brown about it a couple of months back, and she shared with me that how on an everyday basis we challenge our kids to step out of their comfort zone, and when you step out of that comfort zone, you see amazing growth that takes place and incredible things start to happen. And when we are challenging our kids to do the same, we got to model that in our own lives to do that. And I came across a quote recently, comfort, it is the enemy of progress. Okay, and that's very true in my life. You know, I get in my comfort zone and I don't want to take the next step out of the comfort zone to do it. So this is me taking that step out of the comfort zone and announcing my candidacy to that. And the one other person that I talked to was my daughter out there, and she's trying to, not look at me. And so I did have a discussion with her about it, if I should be running for school board, and her advice was short and to the point, and she just said, "Suck it up, Dad." and do it. So, I mean, so this is me sucking it up too. Doing it, but all fun aside, all jokes aside, I do understand the gravity of the importance of the job that lies in front of us. For me, it comes down to one thing: what's in the best interest of our kids, and what do we do to promote them and to provide them overall great quality of education for them. In any community, the most valuable resource of the community is the children. The kids of our community, and it is our moral obligation that we provide them excellent quality of education so that when they graduate from high school, they are prepared for college, career, life, whatever their choices, that they are prepared to excel in that area, and we provide them that skill for them to excel in that area. The district is going to unveil a new strategic plan, and that's going to happen 2 days from now. It's going to be at the World Arena. If your schedule allows you, I would encourage you to come and attend that meeting at the World Arena. But that strategic plan was a product of a lot of people in the community involving themselves and providing some feedback and developing that strategic plan. And I was fortunate to serve as a core team member that drafted the wording of that strategic plan, and it went in front of the board, and the board approved it. Now it's time for us to collectively embrace that strategic plan, and our actions and resources are aligned with that plan for the sake of our kids going forth. So for me, it's three things that I wanted to briefly touch upon, and you see the first one, it's excellence in education for all, and all means all. We don't leave any kids behind. We need to meet the unique needs of every kid in our district, and it doesn't matter what their background is, what they bring to the table, race, irrespective of their race or their socioeconomic status or their learning disabilities or their gifted and talented identified. We provide the best overall quality of education for all our kids, and the education should not be dependent. The education that they receive should not be dependent on the zip code that you live in. We should have all schools that are high quality schools. So that's one thing that I'm passionate about, that and the board is developing an equity policy in this regard, excellence in education for all. And the second thing is that responsible stewardship. The community passed mill levy override 2 years back, and because of the support of the community, we were able to compensate our teachers and staff a fair wage for all the hard work that they put in. And now, as we go along further with the mill levy override, we will find that some of the capital improvement projects in our buildings are going to take place. So some of our older buildings are going to get facelift, and which is great. But with that now comes the responsibility that we, as the school board and the leadership, are responsible stewards of those taxpayers' money, and we communicate that, and that is my role. If I get to sit on the school board, I would like to practice transparency, good communication with the community, and make sure that we use those resources that have been given to us in a responsible way, responsible stewardship. And the third thing is community engagement. We got to engage our community more than even what we do now, and we do a great job right now. Our schools are the community hubs. It brings together a diverse group of peoples, and you have a thriving school, then it's going to improve the property value around there, and it's going to drive economic growth in that area. So we want to have our schools to be safe but welcoming learning environment for our community. We welcome parents, we welcome our community in there. And then we partner with our community partners that are there to use the resources of our local businesses, our nonprofits, to meet the demands of our students. So we make use of every opportunity that is there. But the bottom line is always students come first. That's our North Star, that's our guiding thing, and all the decisions should be aligned. Students come first. I'm fully cognizant and serving on the DAC and working with the school board. I'm fully cognizant about some of the challenges that are facing our district, especially with the declining in student enrollment numbers for the past several years. And the result that those decline in student enrollment numbers have on the district resources, and that was readily evident in the last development of the last budget cycle when we had to cut some teachers and programs. And, that is one of the hardest. I've been attending board meetings for the past 2 years, but those sessions were one of the hardest, most difficult board sessions, when you have teachers coming up there in front of the school board and parents coming up there in front of the school board and making a plea or making a request for their jobs or the specific educational programs, and it's really difficult to see that. Just yesterday I got to sit with some of the members with CSCA, which is the Education Association and Teachers Association, and had a lengthy dialogue about how we can serve our students in the best possible manner. And what I shared with them, and I will share the same thing with this group, I'm not standing here saying I have all the answers, okay? But I'm standing here saying that I will listen to you respectfully, that I will do the work that is necessary, I will put in the work that is necessary. I will be prepared at board meetings. I will listen to all options that are presented on the table, and I will always be a passionate advocate for our staff, our students, and our district personnel, and for public education in general. So, going to solve all our problems. Is that the answer? Is that, going to guarantee success? Certainly not. I can't stand here and say that I guarantee success, but what I can guarantee is failure if we fail to confront some of the challenges that are in front of us with professional commitment, competence, and courage that's in front of us. So we need to meet these challenges that are there, and that's what I hope to do in the coming days, weeks, and if I get lucky to serve on the school board. I like to watch movies, and I'm going to end with a quote from one of my favorite movies that I've watched so many times. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. So, if you build great schools that provide a high quality education for our kids, they will come. The students will come, the parents will come along, the teachers will come along, and the community will come along. My name is Parth, and I'm running for district level.